Hello friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Poonam Dua. Today with me you are going to cover the theme of a very important British novel, that is Middlemarch, written by George Eliot. George Eliot was her pseudonym, was her name that she was using as a writer. Her real name was Mary Ann Evans. Let us proceed to our video now. सबसे पहले तो इस राइटर की ही बात करते हैं। मैरी एन एवांस, ये इनका रियल नेम था and she was known by her pen name George Eliot. एक मेल pseudonym उन्होंने चूज किया था to sound mannish while writing a novel because females were not easily accepted as writer during those days. She was an English novelist, a poet, a journalist, translator, and one of the leading writers of Victorian era, and Middlemarch is one of her masterpieces. To know the plot in brief, you may check the link in description. There is another video, and in this video we will talk about the theme of marriage, which is the major theme of this novel. So I told you marriage is the major theme in this novel, और हमारे दो principal characters हैं, Dorothy और Lydgate. दोनों ही अपनी अपनी पसंद से अपने अपने पार्टनर्स के साथ शादी करते हैं, लेकिन दोनों ही खुश नहीं रहते. Both principal plots, those of Dorothy and Lydgate, are case studies of unsuccessful marriage. और ये unsuccessful marriage क्या suggest करती है कि these disastrous marriage leave the lives of Dorothy and Lydgate unfulfilled. So marriage is basically one of the major theme in Middlemarch, and according to one very great philosopher, George Steiner, both principal plots, Dorothy and Lydgate, एक केस स्टडी है अनसक्सेसफुल मैरिज की, और ये सजेस्ट करता है कि ये दोनों ही चाहे अपनी ही चॉइस से मैरिज करें, अपनी चॉइस से शादी करें, दैट कैनॉट बी द गारंटी ऑफ अ सक्सेसफुल मैरिज. Most characters in Middlemarch marry for love rather than obligation. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई दबाव डाला जाता है किसी पर. Yet marriage still appears negative and unromantic, and marriage and the pursuit of it are the central concerns in Middlemarch. But unlike in many novels of the time, marriage is not considered the ultimate source of happiness in this novel. Two examples are the failed marriage of Dorothy and Lydgate. Dorothy's marriage fails because of her youth and her disillusions about marrying a much older and scholar kind of man, and the other marriage, Lydgate's marriage, fails because of the unmatched personalities of two people. Please do watch the other video as well, in which the story has been described. Without understanding the story, this theme will not be useful for you. एटलीस्ट आपको ब्रीफ में तो स्टोरी करनी ही है. वैसे मैं सजेस्ट करती हूँ सभी स्टूडेंट्स को कि बहुत ही थॉरली स्टडी की जाए. थॉरल स्टडी हमेशा आपके काम आती है. बट अभी आप ब्रीफ स्टडी करेंगे तो एटलीस्ट मैरिज थीम को समझ पाएंगे. So in her attempts to fulfill her marriage career, Dorothy was more captivated or attracted by the vast library learning of Casaubon. डॉरथी अपने से एक बहुत ही एल्डर पर्सन के साथ शादी करती हैं, कैसॉबन के साथ, ये सोचकर कि कैसॉबन से शादी करेंगी तो वो बहुत ही एक स्कॉलर काइंड ऑफ पर्सन है. डॉरथी इज फॉन्ड ऑफ स्टडीज, तो वो भी शायद अपने स्टडी को कंटिन्यू कर पाएंगी या किसी भी तरीके से अपनी रीडिंग हैबिट्स को फुलफिल कर पाएंगी, अपनी स्कॉलरिस्टिक हैबिट को फुलफिल कर पाएंगी. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता और उनकी मैरिज फेल हो जाती है बिकॉज कैसॉबन उनको एक पार्टनर की तरह ट्रीट ना करने की जगह एक ऐसे पर्सन की तरह ट्रीट करते हैं जो कि उनको सिर्फ सर्व करेगा. सो लाइब्रेरी देखकर देखिए वो कितनी एक ब्यूटीफुल बात करती हैं. व्हाट अ लेक कंपेयर्ड विद माय लिटिल पूल. जब डॉरथी अट्रैक्ट होती है कैसॉबन की तरफ तो उनको लगता है कि मेरी नॉलेज तो एक पूल के जैसी है, लेकिन लुक एट हिज लाइब्रेरी इज लाइक अ लेक in front of my little pool. अब बात करेंगे लिडगेट और रोजामंड की. देखिए, आई एम नॉट टेलिंग यू in detail about the characters, you really need to understand the story first. Do not be in any kind of hurry कि just do this one. ये आप करेंगे तो सही से समझ नहीं पाएंगे, सही से नहीं समझेंगे तो ठीक से लिख नहीं पाएंगे एग्जाम्स में. Let us understand Lydgate. Lydgate sees Rosamond as a plant, that in marrying her he could give her a much needed transplantation. Lydgate देखिए एक डॉक्टर हैं और वो किसी ना किसी तरीके का ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन चाहते हैं लाइफ में, अपनी लाइफ में भी और उस पार्टनर की लाइफ में भी जिसके साथ वो शादी करेंगे. लेकिन उनकी मैरिज फेल हो जाती है क्योंकि दोनों ने शादी से पहले ही एक दूसरे को ठीक से नहीं समझा. Their marriage fails as Rosamond struggles to keep her house and her possessions and becomes petulant and manipulative in the process. Rosamond ने materialistic reasons से शादी की थी and she wants very materialistic kind of decorations for herself, for her house, but Lydgate से शादी करने के बाद उनके वो सारे dreams पूरे नहीं हो पाते हैं. Both of them fall in great amount of debts. There is another marriage. This marriage I'll call to be a successful one. Fred and Mary. फ्रेड और मैरी शादी करते हैं एक दूसरे को बहुत अच्छे से समझने के बाद, बहुत साल एक दूसरे को जानने के बाद, बहुत से trial and tribulations के बाद. So Fred and Mary have a thorough understanding of each other. Through self-examination, Mary comes to conclusion about what is suitable for her and Fred. She realizes that she would not make a good school teacher. She also refuses to marry Fred until he selects an occupation suitable for him. Mary does this because she recognizes that Fred's pursuit of the wrong career jeopardize means put in danger both of their levels of happiness. तो मैरी फ्रेड को बहुत अच्छे से एस्टैब्लिश करवाने की कोशिश करती है शादी से पहले ही, ताकि उसके बाद वो दोनों एक अच्छी लाइफ को लीड कर पाए. Fred and Mary's marriage is depicted as having achieved a solid mutual happiness. इन दोनों की शादी को देखकर लगता है कि इनमें जरूर एक सॉलिड म्यूचुअल हैप्पीनेस है. एंड दिस इज ऑपोजिट ऑफ द अनहैप्पी मैरिजेस ऑफ Casaubons and Lydgates. Because of their lifelong courtship, both Fred and Mary have a thorough understanding of each other, and the other two marriages were based upon a short time attraction. Let us have a look at this very interesting statement. A woman dictates before marriage in order that she may have an appetite for submission afterwards. This quote has been used by George Eliot in this novel itself. The narrator here makes the remarks about the marriage early on the novel and shortly before Dorothy marries Casaubon. And the comment is probably meant to be read ironically. Do not take it seriously. Do we really think that George Eliot believed that women should be submissive after marriage? Probably not. But that is the way actually society expected. So this is a mockery on society. That is the way society expected and even today expects a wife to behave. So in this brief, almost throwaway remark, Eliot makes a huge ironic commentary on the social expectations from all the wives. And this one for Lydgate. Poor Lydgate, or shall I say poor Rosamond, each lived in a world of which the other knew nothing. Lydgate और Rosamond ने भी बहुत जल्दबाजी में शादी की थी. This passage pretty much sums up the reason why marriages fails in the world of Middlemarch, and Middlemarch is a mini representation of the old world itself. The two people don't understand each other at all, and the narrator tries to assure us that neither is to blame more than the other. She says both poor Lydgate, poor Rosamond, and it is not a question of fault, it is a question of understanding, and it is quite unfortunate and almost tragic. And this is the marriage of Mary and Fred Vincy. People often forget Mary Garth in George Eliot's Middlemarch, and I think she is the third heroine of the book, not maybe as idealistic as Dorothy and not as shallow as Rosamond, but Wittier, very practical, and probably smarter than both. She is the character for whom I have the greatest affection, and I wish Eliot had spent more time with her in the novel. Much of the critical work of Middlemarch barely mentions her, but she is also a very prominent character um, who knows how to maintain a relationship, who knows what to do with the relationship, who knows what is the perfect time to get married. So this is the conclusion that you can write. One of the central major theme that runs through whole Middlemarch is that of marriage. Indeed, it has been argued that Middlemarch can be constructed as a treatise in favor of divorce. क्या क्या reasons हो सकते हैं जो कि divorce की वजह बन सकते हैं? That has been told very explicitly in this novel Middlemarch. You may join the classes to cover all the topics in detail. In this video, we covered only the theme of Middlemarch and the story in short. If you will join the classes, you will get to cover everything in detail from story to plot to all the question answers and major themes which will be very helpful to write your exams. Thanks a lot for watching. Best of luck for your exams and please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel.